To another episode of El Cuban Dudes Show, guys. And today I am here with a very special guest co host. You may recognize her. She's our new Miami guest correspondent, Mrs. Madelyn Morell. Madelyn Morell, everybody.
What is up? What is up?
What is
Andy,
up?
give me a second because
What are you doing?
I had to take off that faja. It was too much. No puedo respirar. I
Oh
couldn't.
my goodness. Can you breathe now?
Oh my, I've been wearing that all day. The struggle is real being a girl. But I'm gonna be skinny tomorrow, so that's okay. It's worth
Is
it.
that
It's
like
worth
is that
it.
like all the chunky monkeys just start flying
Whew.
away?
It's like pushes you into like a little sausage, and then you take it out, and you can be
Oh
like
my
a little
god.
fat croqueta.
Is that shit like all sweaty and nasty when you take it off? It's like
Honestly, today it wasn't as bad as it was yesterday. It was so hot outside. I think I actually lost like 4 pounds because of the faja. Like
no
because I
way.
was just dripping sweat. Yeah, like taking it off, I'm like, oh my god, like I felt like when you're like when you're sweaty and you start to take off your clothes, there's like cold spots. It was
Yeah.
like so
Oh my
terrible.
god. I get that shit where like I'll take like my shirt off or I'll take like my hat off or something and have that white stuff on it, like from like
Oh my
sweating.
sweat because you have so much salt.
That's salt, right?
That sodium coming out of your body. Eso
Fuck,
es que tú estás
dude.
echando mucho sal en la comida.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I've honestly thought about that exactly in that way. I'm like, maybe it's just like the salt coming out of my fucking
It's a
body, dude.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 100% salt. Why is sweat white? I
Google
think
that
it's
shit.
salt. If you tend to get white, salty stains on your skin or
Salt?
clothing after training sessions or races, which is not what you were doing, tú estabas
No.
caminando,
No estaba
you might
pajeando.
have saltier than average sweat.
Look, bro, I just go like this, and I'll like lick myself after, be like, yo, I'm salty as fuck, man.
Smelling like the ocean out here.
Yeah, dude.
Damn. I knew it was something like that because of like dance and stuff where like people have like the manchas, but it's white.
Uh huh.
Sal.
Oh my god, you were a dancer for the Miami Heat, right,
Yeah.
bro?
Fun.
What's the craziest shit? What's the craziest shit you ever experienced during that whole thing? Come on,
The
give me
crazy.
like the gossip.
Okay, this was. I mean,
You don't
it's
have to.
not
You don't have
crazy.
to name. You don't have to name any names. You don't have to
I
name any
won't
names.
name anything. I won't name anything. So there's an area we have to park our cars at, and it's like in the lower level.
Uh,
And I had remembered leaving my car in a certain position because of I had brought one of my friends with me when we were going to the game. And
uh,
when we left the game, I remember like walking into this area and I look at my car, I'm like, I did not park my car. Like my car was like wow. Like it was like a completely different angle, everything. And I'm like, dude, like I remember not parking my car there. Like, why is my car there? And we kept going at it and going at it and going at it. And a security guard comes and sees me like observing my whole car. And he's like, oh yeah, we had to move it. And I'm like, oh, how did you move my car? I have my keys. Like it wasn't like clicking in my head.
hmm,
And I'm like, what do you mean you moved my car? Like, wait, like I've had my keys the whole game. Like, no one told me anything. Like, did someone go to my bag and get my keys? He's
right.
like, no, we crank it on these wheels and
Mm,
we move it.
the
So I
fuck
was like,
out.
dude, who gave you guys permission to move my vehicle? And like, my car wasn't like super new, but she had just gotten like revamped,
Right.
looking new, and it like gave me anxiety. Like they were just like move my car. I'm like, what would have happened if like God forbid se fue and like it crashes another car or something? Like, what were they supposed? Like, who would have paid for that? Like,
That's some
who's
crazy
who's
shit,
paying
dude.
for
Like
that?
they'll just like jack your car up like on a jack and like move it from one side to the
They're
other.
like, someone in corporate was parked in the wrong spot and you were blocking them. I'm like, King them, I'm not a park down here where it's our area.
What were you driving, like a Geo Metro or some shit? What were you driving?
No, I was driving a Honda Elantra at that time,
Oh,
like a
oh
little
my.
little tiny like sedan. But it was just weird to see that somebody was like moving my car with like wheels. Like I would have never thought that in my life.
I thought you
And
were
we
gonna say that like four buff dudes picked up your car like in an old Mentos commercial. You know, they didn't have a Mentos commercial where they picked up a car or some shit and moved it. I
I've
remember
never
something
seen
like that.
that.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
are like their strength. I've
yeah.
seen it. I thought they would like if you would have been like if they got like four of the NBA players to like stop. They're like, hey, you're on the bench anyway. Come move this car for
Four
us.
guys that look like a right said Fred. You remember that? I'm too sexy for my
For my
shirt.
shirt. Too sexy.
That guy just like with the little wife beaters that you just see like the
Oh
side of
my
their nipples
god.
and shit, and they're like
We need like a
grabbing the
clip of
car,
him.
moving it over.
Dude, what a time. That
Oh,
doesn't exist
what's
anymore.
the name of the Heat owner again? Is it Bruce Arians? Arians or something like that? Is that the
Of
am I,
what?
oh, no, Mickey
Mickey
Arians.
Arison?
Mickey Harrison. Mickey
Yeah.
Harrison.
That's
Harris.
part of the test. You got to know the names.
Yeah, that's right, Coño. I forgot. I'm a fucking. I haven't been to. I used to be a Miami Heat season ticket holder back in the day
Oh,
when
wow.
they used to have like fucking Cedric Sabalos and shit, like all these basketball players that nobody knows about nowadays and shit. This was like in the early 2000s. When were you a dancer for the Heat?
Bro, count like 16 years later. In
Okay.
2000, I was like in first grade.
Yeah. Cojones, I sound old as shit. Sound like a perv. Uh, get the USC. Yeah, but that. So what? Like 2016, 17, around there?
2016, 17 was my season. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, that was a good guess on my part. Okay, cool. How did you get into that? Like, I'm
I
just curious. How
started,
the fuck you stumble into being a Miami Heat dancer?
well, I danced in my high school for 4 years. And then, like, from that point on, like, everyone that you know ahead of you is like doing those kinds of things, like Marlins or Dolphins. And like Miami Heat was super big. Like,
Right.
this was like sexiest women of women. Like, the word woman, like, you thought of these dancers. So,
Right.
watching like the older generation start to do that stuff, like it makes you want to go. And I auditioned actually 4 times. Like
Mm.
right when I graduated, the year right after that, the year right after that, and then I finally got into like boot camp. And then I went through like all the whole like audition process, which is like a whole week. So there's like interview process, there's like the whole like scoping you from head to toe process. They do like a practice mini shoot for you, like to see what you look like in the uniform. And then like it's audition day Friday, like that's it. Like it's perform the 3 dances, you do your heat is on. And it was crazy because I was actually super injured. I had twisted my ankle during boot camp. And I remember I was on so many painkillers to like make it through the last day, that Friday, that
Mm.
I didn't remember anything. I was messing up so bad. Like I had to learn everything on the floor already during boot camp. That's like all choreo. The heat is on everything. So like people were going left and I was going right. People were like arms up, my arms were down. They were like doing a double, I was doing a single and like facing the wrong way. It was so bad.
It's like a
But
bad SNL skit.
horrible. Like they must have looked like to the audience like who's this girl and why did she get picked? But it was just like a long term. Like they had already known me for so long that they knew I wasn't gonna quit. Number one, and number two, like I just was like so like invested in becoming a heat dancer that it was almost like the image that I needed like at that moment. And I was like, dude, like I'm ready for this. Then my ankle
Yeah.
got twisted, but it was a
Well,
fun experience.
after the fourth year, you were sexy enough to be on. After the
I
fourth
was old
episode,
enough at that point. I'm like, I think
you were
because
old
of
enough.
they did even ask you like, oh, what do you think doesn't like was the reason you didn't make it from the other 3 times? I'm like, I think I was a baby. Like I was a
Yeah.
baby. Like I didn't know my body and stuff like that. Like yeah, after a couple of years of dancing, especially that in between, I was doing other things. Like I worked with Jay Alvarez. I did
Mm.
premios. You know, like you start to like experience things and you're like, oh, like I understand now like motions of stuff like when I dance. So I gave them like a different Madeline, I guess.
Did you ever dance for Diddy?
No, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, not putting me in any music videos. Dude, he's so screwed. Oh my God.
Listen, I
He's
I will
screwed.
admit, I will admit that I'm going to defer to you on this one because I know nothing about this fucking guy. Like all I know is every step I
Stop.
take.
Stop.
Listen, that's all I know. I know that I know that he just has that fucking face. Every time you Google his, he just has that fucking face, that he has. And that's all I fucking know about P. Diddy. I swear to God, like I know nothing about the guy. And maybe I'm like living under a rock or I'm so busy with other things going on that like I know he's in some shit. I've heard a lot of messed up things. We even Abel and I even spoke about an episode in the past where we mentioned him, we brought him up. But you know, I know nothing. So what the fuck? Like what is actually going on with this guy? Like what is the late I know he's arrested, but what is it? What is the big thing here that happened?
He's not just arrested. Like, I think he's going to be arrested for life. Like, I don't think he's going to get out. He tried to do like this whole long story short, he
Yeah.
basically was having like crazy freak offs and he was like drugging women and then having sex with them. There was like cases of lubricant apparently. Like the indictment literally stated, I'm gonna bring this part up for you. It says, let me go back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find this. Diddy. Listen to this. Listen. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Members and associates, because you have to like get like people were starting to talk on the internet. And you're like, it's not verdad. Like that's not
Right.
real. Then
Right.
you see it on like Los Federales. Like these people actually put this in writing. Like it's an indictment. It says members and associates of Combs Enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees facilitated the freak offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with required freak off supplies,
Holy fuck.
including substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, because que va, baby oil por todo lado. I'm sure they had to switch out the linens. And lighting, because you gotta have the right lighting. You have to have the
Yeah.
right lighting.
Yeah.
Cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak offs to try to
Oh,
mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs to the freak offs, resupplying Combs with requested supplies. Bro,
no.
pink cocaine,
No.
crazy dildos. Like, just imagine like the worst of the worst. And it's like to think that other celebrities are probably involved.
Yeah. You know what? And I think this is what I remember talking about with Abel. Now that we're talking, now that it's coming up back in my mind.
It was all coming back
Yeah,
to
it's all
me.
coming back to me now. So, um, it's just that concept, that idea that these fucking rich people, like, they have so much money. I mean, Madeline, like, when you do something as small as this little shitty fucking show, right?
This
Or
is
when
a
you,
shitty show.
I always self-deprecate. So when you do something like that, or when you do something, okay, let's say something slightly bigger, something, you start to notice, like, people, like, they know you. Fuck, when we used to sell food out here because we had like a presence online, I would go to a store, people would be like, oh fuck, you're like the Cuban Dudes guy, whatever it is. You would start feeling like this little kind of like mini celebrity kind of fucking thing, this vibe, whatever. You start meeting people, people who know people, this and that, and you're like, coño, I'm sure it's happened to you in your circles and your shit. You know people as well. Bueno, imagine. So that's like not even a fraction of a percentage of a percentage of a percent. Imagine what these people have, right? Like this world
Todo.
that they're exposed to, that they know every fucking one. Like, I've come to learn that all famous people, like, they all know each other. They all know each other, and these are like the most powerful, influential, and then forget about when you start mentioning social media and shit, right? Like, influential fucking people in the world. They get to a point that they honestly believe they could do anything because they're like
Untouchable.
invisible. Yeah, invincible. They're untouchable. And that concept to me is like, I mean, it's the wrong word to say because a lot of bad things have happened to a lot of people, right? So I'm not justifying it, but it's just unbelievable. Like, it's incredible. It's fascinating. Okay. How that shit just manifests. It's like these people have so much power and they've done so much of everything that they get to a point that you said pink dildos with pink cocaine and this and that and the other is just like the norm because what else are we gonna do? We're like bored.
Exactly.
And people allow them to manifest that.
I feel like they've let the pendulum swing and it's like now just staying in one direction that people are like, oh shit, now it's coming back. And like, it's almost like full circle for them because he has blackmail on a lot of these people. Like, majority of the indictment, because I'm so obsessed with this whole entire case
Yeah.
and obsessed in the sense of like, I'm happy that they're setting an example. And I was pretty obsessed with the Jeffrey Epstein one. I guess obsessed isn't the right word, but I'm interested in this because I feel like it's nice to see people that are like big in the game to go down. Cause it's almost like, don't even try to play this game. Like, we're gonna go through everything. It's gonna take us some months, but like, we're gonna find the shit that we need to like put you in and like lock the door and never let you out because, dude, it's so bad. Like, he's getting hit with like racketeering, he's getting hit with the sex trafficking. It's like it's so many different things. Like, and they haven't even started with the whole lawsuits he's having from these other women who are like claiming he raped them. Like, I think there's one lady from like the 90s. She kept like she Monica Lewinsky him. She kept the outfit she was raped
No.
in. Like, there's legit supposed. It's all like he say she say. Let's not get in trouble on this thing.
Right, right,
But
right.
that there was like jizz on like one of her dresses or no sé qué, like an outfit she wore that night.
Jeez.
Do something.
I love
I
when you
didn't want to
just
say that. I was like, is jizz more appropriate than cum? Like in my head, and I'm like, probably not. Probably not, Madeline.
it's not
Probably
every
not.
day. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It's not every day you talk to a chick who just drops jizz on you like that. You know what I mean?
I feel
No
like
pun
is cum
intended.
worse?
Yeah, no. I don't know. That's
That's a
fucking
lot of
awesome.
bleeping out right there in that one
For
sentence.
real. Those are like there's gonna hey, it is what it is, talking about the pendulum swinging. This show has sometimes gone this way, sometimes it's gone that way. And I always find myself that when I try to become polished and become very like, hey, my name is Andy and let's talk to the guest. The next episode I'm like, fuck everyone. And I'm like, it's bottled up, man. It just comes out. It's
It's that
perfectly
like
okay.
Latin in us. I feel like it's so hard for us to stay like here.
Bro,
There's
that's the
always
real
like that.
Cuban dude shit. That's the real Cuban dude shit. And you know what pisses me the fuck off, to be honest with you, Madeline? Que la gente que that we grew up around, that I grew up around in Miami, like all these people are the first ones to come out and be like, oh, pero porque tú tienes que ser tan grosero? Why do you have
Oh
to like
my
fucking
god.
talk like this? And why do you have to talk like that? And I look at them and I go, dude, like was I raised in a different house? Was I raised around a
Fuck.
was I raised around a different environment? Did I have different friends growing up or some shit? Because all you people ever did was constantly curse and say that. I'm like, now it's like the grandparent syndrome. You know how like you don't know this because you don't have children yet or ever. I don't know, Madeline. But one thing that happens with grandparents is that when you have kids, your parents your parents could have been the greatest parents in the world. Okay, fine, give them that. But most people's parents have a fault. When you have kids, they are like the greatest fucking humans of all time. They're the most caring, the most
Super like
loving, the
cariñoso.
most protegioso. Like, oh, whatever. Don't let them do that, dude. You know how many times I'm in a situation where my own wife, because my situation was kind of different, but my wife would be like, mommy, like, bro, you used to let us play outside till like 3, 4 in the fucking morning. You didn't give a shit if I was alive or dead. And now because my daughter steps 3 foot outside the house, you're constantly paranoid. Where were you back then? It's like the same thing
She's
with
like
the cursing.
creating the good mom that you are today.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like the cursing thing. ¿De dónde tú sacaste esto? I'm like, yo, bro,
Bro. My
who is this
parents,
person now?
specifically my dad, because my dad curses like a motherfucker and then acts like he's like un inocente. I'm
Un
like,
santo.
you had inocente or inocente? I said it wrong. I
No,
fuck
no,
up
he
all
said
Spanish.
inocente. No, inocente.
Oh,
I
I
said un
said,
santo.
oh, santo, yeah. And I laugh at him because I'm like, you had me listening to Tupac, Eminem, Kid Rock, like all these people, and I was like in kindergarten. Like, how am I in kindergarten with a CD of Eminem? Like, why am I rapping Slim Shady? And then you're gonna ask me why I curse so much? Bro,
Oh my
I'm
God.
un favor. Everything's
Yeah.
pinga here, tu madre, que risen, like everything. And then I say it, I'm bad. I'm like, no, 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 this guy. I've recorded him too to show him how much he curses.
No way.
He like, I forgot if it was my mom that fell or he fell, and I caught the act, and he just started going like ripping, like joking and cursing, and I'm like, bro, it's all on video.
Oh my
It's all
God.
on video.
My goodness, man. Oh yeah, you were I'm gonna cut. I promise this weekend I'm gonna have that package done because I wanna
I can't wait to
enjoy
see
it.
that.
You were in ¿cómo se llama esto? The Miami Improv with these people over there, with
Fun.
the Have Nots, right?
The Have Nots comedy, thanks to Dom.
How did that shit go in general? Like how
So
overall?
good. They had a full house. The performances are wild. These comics, I mean, dude, they come out and they're just like ready. Like the audience loves it. That energy and that improv is so unmatched. Like it's so hard to get that because like you have people who genuinely want to watch comedy and like people who aren't sensitive to like topics. Like you could say whatever you want in that room and people are like loving it. I
That's
fucking love it.
Have
They put
you
on a really good show.
you've done stand up at the Improv, right?
I did. Yeah, I was lucky enough actually twice. I auditioned for Only and Date there, and I did they call it New Faces. So they'll do
Mm,
that once a month. You sign up, and if they have a spot available, they let you jump in and they add you to a list. And
right.
then like night of, you find out like where you're gonna line up in the full lineup because you have like 30 something, 40 something comedians that go up on stage. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. So the I want to get back onto the Diddy talk really quickly here, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I want
I
to
love.
circle back around Diddy. Um, so he's on suicide watch, is he not?
Suicide watch after he tried to make a deal because he didn't get bail. They said, "Nope, sit tight, buddy.
No
This
way.
going this gonna be a long ride for you." He did
Damn.
there was a deal he was trying to make. It says New York rejected his $50 million bail petition on September 17th. Music mogul John Diddy Combs, because he has like 10 fucking names apparently. I think he calls himself Love now. He legally changed his name to Love. Nam
No.
forward.
No.
Yes. Yes. Did you not notice? Oh, because you're not watching. Fuck. So his son, one of his sons wore like a shirt that had his like all against love or whatever it is, like the world against love, and because like
No.
Diddy calls himself Love now. No, no, no. He's came out, bro. Like it's so weird that he thinks that he could come back from this. Like now we know too much. Like there's no way of fixing. But it says Sean Diddy Combs remains behind bars as a federal judge. Robin, whatever that last name is, in New York,
Uh,
rejected his $50 million bail petition. So he was gonna give up his Miami house and his mom's house
holy shit.
and all that oil and like all the dildos
On dildos. Do you think you'd have to pay his bail in cash or in dildos?
and dildos.
Oh, it's gonna be
They're
100,000
like,
dildos.
there's gonna have to be like 10 freak offs here in the prison before you get out, Diddy. R.
Do you
Kelly's in the other corner. He's like, make sure he touches my room first.
Oh my god. You know, I think I remember seeing something about Justin Bieber and that whole thing, right? Was that
Dude, so bad. I saw that too. Yeah, like they're claiming the whole thing about him, like Diddy, is that since he started grooming like Usher was super young when he like lived with Diddy. Lived with
like
Diddy.
like
And he
Michael
was
Jackson
13
type
years
shit?
old. Like type Michael Jackson shit. And then now they're saying it about Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber was signed under like the whole Usher and
Mm.
then Usher's with Diddy, so it's like Diddy took care of Justin. There's like weird video footage of him like, "Oh, you could drive this, like it's yours once you get a license," and it's like, that doesn't look good for you, sir. He's 13.
I mean, so I mean, is it as raw as being like, here, get in bed with me, and if we do these acts, you get this? Like, is it something like that? Or
I have no idea, and nor do I hope to ever find out. But it's obviously gonna come to light. But I'm gonna assume that in any industry like these, that they start very like that whole Nickelodeon thing. Did you ever watch that?
Nickelodeon thing?
They did
Nickelodeon?
a dude that what's his name? Rob Schneider from Nickelodeon. Is that his name?
Rob Schneider was the guy who was in those Adam Sandler movies.
It's not Rob Schneider. That's so bad. Rob Schneider, I'm so sorry. I I wanna apologize for you because I love you and you were not the name I was looking for.
What do you mean? What's up with Nickelodeon?
So the guy that ran like all of the Nickelodeon shows like all that it's
Right, right,
all
right, right,
that.
right.
So
Yeah.
apparently he used to like do stuff to apparently these kids and people also in the industry of like Nickelodeon, like
No.
workers, and that actually got caught. There was like one specifically that they bring up in the documentary that he transitioned from Nickelodeon to freaking Disney Channel and he was like on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Okay.
So it was just like a bunch of like slow progression of like grooming for these children type of thing, which is what I can assume happens in like the music industry. So like, look, I was in the dance industry and I can tell you right now, you're gonna find slimy people. Like there's gonna be people who try to manipulate you, who try to like they just test the waters to see what kind of person you are and then like they jump to the next best thing where it's like it starts as something so basic and simple to like getting you comfortable with them. I'm sure Diddy did that. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, based off what I've read and like everything that's happened with him. I'm like, this guy was a groomer in like all aspects. He was like another Epstein,
God, it's
except crazy amount of baby oil. Crazy amount of baby
oh
oil.
god, it's so creepy. Yeah, it's like, I sometimes wonder how people do it because with my three girls, I don't leave them alone anywhere because of creepers like that, right? And we actually know a couple. They're rich, by the way. Speaking of rich people, right? They're very fucking rich, right? And they have their daughter. They have a son and a daughter. Their daughter, very pretty girl, blonde, blue eyes, una tremenda muchachita. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they send her to like a fucking tennis camp or something like that, and she'll be gone for like weeks and months, you know?
that's
And
so
I'm like,
weird.
yeah, dude. And I'm like, yeah, it's like it's almost like a boarding school kind of thing that happens to be like a tennis thing or something weird like that. But me and my wife, like we've spoken about it before, we're like, dude, how can these people do that kind of shit? It's like I understand, you know, you don't wish anything like that to happen. You trust in the system and people and stuff. But I'm sorry, dude. Like I don't trust people, and I
Yeah,
don't trust the
facts.
system, and I don't, you know what I mean? Like how many times for every one girl that has been treated great and respected, and she loves the person that was their teacher, or whatever, you have 5 to 10 other ones that are like, yeah, I never felt comfortable, I never felt right, what I mean, this and that. And having daughters, that's honestly the biggest. But having sons as well. I mean, your son could be molested. You know what I mean? Like anybody can, of course, anybody can. But it's just like it's so crazy, man. The way people take advantage of people like that. You know what I mean?
Sending
It.
your kid off, I just feel like is like you're asking for something potentially to happen. Like that's how I see it. Like
Me too.
forget gender, like female and male. I just see like, dude, honestly, these people exist. You're not gonna get rid of them. They're gonna be there and they are gonna do slimy shit. And why would you put your kid at risk? I just don't get it, especially for fame. Like what in the world? Like it's like showing that you have a price type of thing.
You know what? My youngest, watches this show on YouTube. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not, because once again, you don't have children, which is known, I guess. Oh, I'll bring it up for the second time in this show. Um, but my youngest watches this show called Like Nastia. I'm not sure if you've seen it before. This.
Like not, I'm gonna look it up. I want to see it.
Yeah. And this girl, she's like Russian or Ukrainian or some shit. And she's been making videos since she was like 2 years old, man, 3 years old. Adorable
Oh
little
my gosh,
girl.
she's a child.
Yeah, dude, but that girl's worth millions of dollars from YouTube
Shut
videos.
up,
Yeah, so
bitch.
they'll make an episode like this one, and like 80, and they'll make like 80 million views and shit.
Shut
And I'm like,
up.
I swear. I told my wife the other day, I said, babe, that can't like I don't doubt that she's popular. Kids like watching shit over and over and over. I don't, but I'm like 80 million fucking views, dude. I'm like, you could buy views, you could buy fake posts, you could buy. I'm like, some of that has to be involved. I cannot believe that there's been an accumulation of humans on this earth that have watched those videos of her playing with her dad, pretending to be a princess, going out and going to the ice cream store. 80
It's just
million
like stupid
times.
stuff. Like she's not doing anything. Like she's not like that kid who rates toys and shit.
It- It's more like role playing. It's like she'll like dress up, and then her dad is like, "Oh, Nastya, what's you doing today, Nastya?" And Nastya's like, "Oh
Dude,
no, daddy,
what?
no, you cannot play in my house today," or something like. It's a very bad impression.
Creepy.
Very bad impression.
It
But
gave creepy.
and it's not. I mean, honestly, it's like I might be creeping it up. I might be on that Diddy vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
You're like, it's giving Diddy. They're like, no, it's actually giving like elementary.
it's like I might be making it worse than what it sounds, but it's just like the point is that my youngest daughter, who's very much, see, my two oldest, they've grown up obviously in this YouTube world. They have, but something like I think like in the last 5 years has really changed, where it's just become like a part of a. It's been like cemented into the fabric of our lives. And my youngest daughter, who's now 6, the other day literally told me that she wants me to make her a YouTube channel, and she wants to have her own show, and she wants to be like Nastia, and she wants to be this, and she wants to be that. And I'm like, and in my mind, she's very charismatic, she's very cute, she's very whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, coño, you think cash fucking cow, right? Because like if your daughter's up for it, yeah, if you're like Macaulay Culkin syndrome, you know what I mean?
You're like trying to sell it right now. You're like, but honestly, she's like, she's a fun kid. She's charismatic. I mean, I think it would work.
Hey, a couple million, whatever. So like fucking, she is like, really cute, this and that, the other. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, I'm like, coño, like, why not? Whatever. But then I'm like, dude, but I can't, like, I can't do it, bro. I can't
I
do
feel
it,
like it's such like a risk because like yeah, it's like OnlyFans. Once you do it, there's no going back. Like yeah, it's already out there.
I
That's
cannot,
that's touchy.
I can't sell my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. That's what it feels like, though, dude.
Okay, what if I told you that little Nasio girl net worth is staggering range of 20 mil to 260 million?
I know. I believe you. I've looked it up before.
Is your daughter worth 260?
Listen, listen. They all started somewhere, and you know what's funny?
Jesus
That girl. Listen, that girl. If you go to the channel
I'm
of
literally
YouTube,
going on it right now.
and you go to like the oldest videos, they started in like a regular fucking house in Kendall, if you get what I mean. And now, when you watch those videos, if you see the house that they're in, oye,
She bawled her parents out.
oye, fuck houses in Star Island, tremenda casa. You're like, yo, what? You know? And the kid
Oh
has like
my god.
everything, and like, the dad is driving around in a Ferrari and shit. Okay.
I was about to ask you, like, is the mom in any of these or it's her always her dad?
It's always the dad. The mom comes out like once every like 100 episodes. The mom is very private, if you get what I mean. Smartly so. She's
She's
the one.
like
I
the
think the mom is
filmer.
like the one behind the camera and all
She's
that
like,
kind of stuff.
she's like the Chris Jenner of the family.
Yeah, yeah. So, dude,
Oh
but
my
like,
god.
yeah, man. And I to me, all of that shit, like the Diddy shit, the Justin Bieber shit, the like Nastia stuff, like to me, that's all part of like the same realm. Like to me, that's all. Fuck, let's throw this show into the mix, right? Everything that has to be like online that's trying to be popular is just all part of the same realm. Some at different degrees. We're nowhere near the balls of Diddy. You know what I mean? Like nowhere near that shit.
I don't
But
like baby oil.
no one likes baby oil. Nice try, Diddy. Right? What's the one thing about this whole thing that I actually am enjoying? That whole nice try Diddy thing. Have you seen that?
No?
So whenever somebody posts like some funny or stupid content on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and it's like really fucking out there, somebody will just write, "Nice try, Diddy."
God.
You haven't seen it?
Bro, the internet is undefeated.
The internet is fucking great
That's
sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
crazy.
I'm not gonna lie.
People are people are too much. They're too quick with it. They're too quick with it.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? What do you think it would sound like when Diddy?
When
What do
he
you think it would
walks in.
sound like when Diddy walks into a room? Now, especially now.
Diddy diddy diddy.
Boom, boom, boom,
Diddy diddy diddy. It's like the
boom,
little
boom, boom,
Pac-Man.
boom, boom. Diddy, diddy, diddy.
The door
Diddy,
gets
diddy,
closed
diddy.
behind him, he locks it.
Diddy, diddy, did, 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 did.
They should make it like into like an ultra type mix. It's like how they started. Like
Hell
diddy
yeah.
diddy diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy diddy diddy.
Uh, uh, uh. Diddy, diddy. Oh, beat. Let that shit drop. Diddy, 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 diddy. Everybody's like,
Diddy diddy.
oh shit. With the fucking girls. Like, Daddy.
And they realize who they're chanting. They're like, no.
Just give it about 100 years when nobody remembers who the fuck he
Oh
is.
my
They'll drop
god.
that into a beat somewhere, and everybody's gonna be like raving. And people, you know who the fuck they're talking about? Do you know anything
I
about this whole thing?
I think people are losing their shit so bad just because Epstein kind of like died and then we couldn't get any more of that stuff. So now we're like, oh, a new show, a new docu series.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
God,
so
man, it's
fucked.
like he's fucking fucked.
He's
Um,
so bad.
oh yeah, you have a show coming up, right?
I do.
Where?
Oc- La Sala, thanks to Martha. We're back at La Sala on October 19th. I want to say it's a Saturday. And we're doing like a Halloween theme. So there's going to be like a costume contest and everything. It's going to be dope.
In September?
October.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the date again? I'm sorry.
October 19th.
October 19th. La Sala.
La
What's
Sala.
where do people buy tickets for it?
We're gonna post it up. It's gonna be a link on my bio and on hers too, and on La Sala. It'll be on
Okay.
Eventbrite.
Okay. Okay. So people could find it then October
Yeah,
19th, Eventbrite.
yeah.
To watch, man. Who else is gonna be on there? Is it just gonna be you and a few other people, or how
It's
many
gonna be
people?
there's a long lineup. We're still confirming some comics, but it's a really good lineup. And I'll tell you, our headliner is Casey Graves, so it's gonna be a really good show.
Nice. Nice. Good shit. Um yeah, like the comedy scene in South Florida, not to make a hard pivot from the diddler, but
The Diddler.
the diddler, Phineas Fallopian Diddler. That's what
Oh
we
my
call
god.
him. Not to make a hard pivot from that, but the comedy scene in South Florida really seems to really be bursting nowadays, right?
Hell yeah.
unless I haven't been around it long enough to know a lot about it. But it seems like lately it's really like kind of dominating, right? Doesn't it
A
look
hundred
like to you?
percent. No, it really is. And it's crazy because when I go to talk to like other comics, I realize how like little shows I do because these people are working like every day. Like if it's a Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, they are out there and they're just running their material. It's like every day there's a new room and they want more rooms. And we're like all trying. Like I have a room, like Metro Day Comedy. You have your day comedy. Like Alex with Thank You Miami has like his that room happening. Like there's so many different rooms. Like it's not just the improv. The improv is extremely crazy to be a part of. Like that's the best, I would say. And I hate to say that, but like it's like the truth. Like that's a great room to be in. But it's nice to see how many people are like bringing out rooms and really just trying to get their sets out there. It's so many comics, dude. There's every time I go to like book for my next set and I'm like looking through comics, I'm like, there's so many options of comics. Like there's so many people trying to be in the
You arrange
comedy.
the shows?
Yeah, I arrange the shows. I host.
How do you get into something like that though?
I honestly when I started doing like it would be like open mics.
Uh-huh.
And then I ended up working a lot with Metro Day Comedy.
Hmm.
And from there we needed like a last minute. I think I was hosting at Panthers Pubs. He wanted me to start hosting, so I hosted at Panthers Pubs. And then they closed down or something happened and we lost the room and it was like we had a show that Friday. So we had to find a new place and I had a friend of mine DM me La Sala, which is from Martha of Miami.
Hmm.
She owned La Tiendecita and she does like cool like Miami like attire type things and little like sawache, whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think I said that wrong. It's sawache, right?
Asawache.
Sabache. A sabache. And she had that room and she was doing like events out of it. So my friend had sent to me had months before and I never wrote back to her. And I was like, oh my God, I have a room I think we could use. So I messaged her. She was super sweet, super welcoming. Let us run the show. We didn't sell tickets. That was a free show the first time we did it. And then after that, I was like, hey, like if you're ever interested, like you let me know. And she was ready to go. She's like, every month let's book something. So every month we've been doing something on a Saturday now to like keep it going. And it's so much fun. And like you see like new people, like they start to get to know her room, which is nice, so that she can book other events too there.
Well, no, that's great. I mean, I'm glad that South Florida at least is on the map. When it comes to the comedy shit and whatever, and that everybody's kind of holding it down. So that's cool. Oh yeah. What before we wrap up, I want to mention here some of the things that we're working on. Right. So as I mentioned before up
Yeah.
front, you are now my Miami correspondent person. For Cuban Dudes, because let's be real, Cuban Dudes, when we started the show, we're based out of Gainesville, but we've only been living here for 3 years. I'm from Miami. Everybody I know is from down there, and everybody who's worth talking to is from down in Miami. There ain't shit going on in Gainesville. Let's be honest. I mean, I'm just being honest. Other than like a Gators game and some other fucking the Watermelon Festival or some shit, there ain't anything really cool happening up here.
Yeah.
So, I have you down there covering events, talking to people now in person. What's some of the things? I mean, I know we're brainstorming some of the stuff, but what's some of the stuff that
We are.
we got cooking?
We we have the what's that thing called? The Dessert Wars is gonna be happening soon, which is gonna be interesting.
That's now later on in September. I think September 28th.
Yeah, September 28th. I think that's gonna be at one of the like Miami Expo type of thing. So it's
Yeah,
a
I
bunch
think
of
it's like
companies,
yeah,
Dessert Wars. You get to
I think it's
taste
gonna be by
everything.
where Tamiami Park is, I believe.
Oh, it's Miami Park.
I think so.
We
Something
have to
like
look at
that.
it again. I know we have that
Yeah.
one. Then we have Flanagan's Rib Roll Run.
What is that again?
That's gonna be people running, and I'm just gonna be eating wings because I can't run. So we're not
Listen,
gonna even try to make that work. I'm going to interview the people who are passed out at the end with a wing in my mouth.
that is great. We have to enforce people there to jump on the damn camera and interview with us. Like we
We
have
have
to.
to. You don't
What
get a
date?
piece of my rib if you don't interview.
What date is that again? Do you remember right now?
That's November
Okay,
28th.
so we have
Something like
enough
that. It's like
time.
further out in the end of November.
Okay, so we have enough time to create some Cuban dude.
Pushing.
I was gonna say paraphernalia, but paraphernalia is the wrong word, right? That's bad,
Diddy,
right?
diddy, diddy.
Diddy diddy diddy
I knew
diddy
it,
diddy
Joe.
diddy. No, Cuban dude stuff, to hand out, stickers or some like maybe like a shirt or something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Um, that's enough time for that. And I think that if we kind of be like, hey, we'll give you like a sticker or something, whatever, get your ass on camera. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you have to like bribe people to want to interview.
Yeah. It's
You
pretty
know?
hard. No one
Yeah.
wants to be a hawk to on
Nobody. Yeah,
national
that's right.
TV anymore.
And you would think Miami would be different because everybody wants to be a hawk too in Miami.
I was actually super like shocked when people didn't want to be interviewed at the improv. I was like, why are you here?
Yeah.
I was like, why are you sitting here then? Why'd you come?
Yeah. I guess a lot of people are probably going with their mistresses and shit. They don't want to be on
Okay,
camera.
yeah, like that's the first two people I asked. Literally, the second one that said yes, they were like, just don't get me on the camera because I'm not supposed to be here. I'm like, oh,
Um, Shit.
understood. That's
There you
so
go.
Miami. I should have gotten that on camera.
Yeah.
Like just the audio, like my camera's facing my feet. I'm just like twinkling my feet, like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. And did you like? Are we having the interview finally with what's the name of the grumpy grandma lady with
Yes, our little grumpy grandma. We're gonna be doing some filming with her.
when is
Oh,
that
I
gonna happen?
hope that comes out tomorrow.
Hmm. Is that they confirmed the appointment?
Yeah, so far. I'm like looking at him like, ready, cut.
Hopefully.
That's what I didn't want to jinx earlier.
True. True. So just be like, no, who knows? I don't know.
We don't know yet. Who that?
We don't know.
No,
Um,
that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be cool.
that's gonna be fun. And then in October, late in October, I wish in a way that either this whole situation was happening in Miami or that somehow you were located up here because I'm gonna tell you something. In October, I know these people. So I don't like know them. They used to be customers of ours when we used to have the food truck, and they actually I think are like neighbors or friends of Abel's. But they have the woman in the relationship works as a project manager, and she's working with
Okay.
these software developers, and they're making an app to track ghosts, like to be like one of these
Nah.
I swear, dude, it's gonna be one of these ¿cómo es que le llaman esa mierda? Like
Ghost hunters.
like ghost hunting shit, but like in an app.
Oh
And and
no.
and she wants me to do an episode. I'm dying to do it. I want to do an episode where we go like in the dark somewhere, whatever, fuck, and we
Who's
spend I don't know how long.
we? Who's we?
Like me, like like I'm gonna do that one.
Good.
And that's why I meant that it would be cool if you were fucking up here because I'd send your fucking ass. I'd be like, we
Oh
not
no.
send. It would be like we'd go. You know what I mean? Like we'd go and fucking because you're my out and about recording person. But
I would be
uh,
petrified.
yeah,
Well, we
I'm gonna
have
do it.
we have to do that. We're supposed to be doing the
And then
haunted
you're gonna do the
house.
haunted house thing.
Not
Yeah,
excited about it either.
yeah.
I'm
That's
such
gonna be great.
pendeja when it comes to shit like that. There's
You
things I
gotta
don't
walk.
mess with.
You gotta literally. Do you think they'll let you walk through a haunted house with a phone, like recording and shit?
I was thinking of strapping a camera on someone's back in front of me.
Oh yes, to get your reactions, like a
So
GoPro
it's
kind of
like
thing.
I'm following the person and like hiding in behind them. Like, oh my god. Cause I know for a fact that's gonna be me. I hate haunted houses.
Oh my god, that's gonna be amazing. And then in November we got the country, the
We
country
do.
music
Wow,
festival.
wait, we have a lot of stuff lined up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot
I
about
think we
that.
got
Yeah,
to
Country
update our
Music Festival.
we got to update our sheets where we track all our events. But yes, we have the country music festival. That's gonna be fun too. And then our friend Orlando Mendez, Cuban Cowboy, is gonna be there, and I'll definitely would love to. We might. I'm not sure if we'll be down there for that. I know I'm gonna be down in Miami
Okay.
in November, but I'm not sure. We got chickens and stuff up here. I wish I could just pack my stuff.
Like, there's so many things I have to like watch over. Like, what I have
Yeah.
responsibilities?
Están los pollos y los animales y las cosas y la mierda. But anyways, yeah, we'll be down in November for sure. And then that's another thing I want to mention in November when we're down in Miami. We need to like I don't know, like obviously hang out and stuff, whatever. But maybe like meet some of these people that we've interviewed, maybe some of these comedians, maybe do something. Maybe we could plan something in Miami for that around that time period. I'm not sure if you'll be in town or not, but that'd be something pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm really just here. I think I was like born and raised through the roots of the concrete of Palmetto, and I just stay here.
Yeah.
Just like the Palmetto, I haven't changed.
Oh my god. All right. So yeah, that's all cool. Anyways, I think we're good. I think we're good
Did
for
we
this episode.
do it?
We did it. We did it, guys.
We
Hold on.
did it. Los hacimos.
Oh, I didn't know that if I pressed that other button it would stop.
Gets close to the mic.
Whenever in doubt, there you go.
Diddy it
Uh,
out.
se come mierda. There you go. Uh, du-du-du-du-du-du,
Diddy, Diddy, Diddy.
du-du-du-du-du-du,
Terrible.
du-du. I want to fade this episode like du-du-du-du-du, 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 du-du-du-du-du.